Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD PHENOMENA. We're on every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Central. That'd be 4 p.m. Pacific. Midnight for Mr. Lee 3PO and all them people over in the UK. How's everybody doing? As you can tell by tonight's title, it seems to be increasing. This division, some people call it. People are saying more and more about it, and in this last week, I've seen a couple of people's shows where they were saying quite a bit. And it needs to be said. There's just too much BS going on out there. And it hinders us getting to the goal, finding the truth, getting actual evidence. We got all these different factions who believe all these different things, and they're trying so hard to push their particular narrative that fits their beliefs. Confirmation bias everywhere, and we need to deconstruct those assumptions, those beliefs that have no evidence and are hindering the goal. It's to find evidence. I think most of us, that's what we want. We want to see it proven, and I think most of us don't want to see them hurt. As I've said before, I think they are a race of humans. Big and hairy, but humans, and that means they have rights, and we can't be having a Bigfoot trapping season like Oklahoma sort of attempted. That was really kind of a publicity stunt for tourism, but I still find it offensive that representative did that, and I think that representative, his name's Justin Humphrey, I think he's probably ended his political career. So I see a little bit of I might be having a little bit of a connection issue. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's see who's here. Mr. Lee was first in the house. Welcome, Mr. Lee. Polly came in as himself and then decided to come back as Blockbeard. Welcome. B. Lynn is here. Welcome. Let's see who else. We got Mopar Bill. Thanks, y'all, for coming. Hopefully you're doing well, Mopar Bill. Let's see who else we got. Try to catch up in the chat here. Icon, of course. Thanks for coming, man. Hopefully you're into Bigfoot, because we're going to talk a little bit of Bigfoot or and whatever else people want to bring up. Saturday night show is called Phenomena, and it's all about cryptids, paranormal, high strangeness, that kind of thing. The channel I have one other live stream I've been doing, and it's just a random show for a large variety of topics. So those of you that are into Bigfoot and stuff, you may not like that one as much. We might talk a little bit about that kind of thing on there. If you bring it up, if that's what chat wants to talk about, hey, we'll talk about it. But that the random live is, going to talk about a lot of different things, and I'm going to try and keep the other stuff out of this one, because I know some of y'all don't want to hear about it. I get it. And so as long as you guys know that, you'll you'll be able to navigate. I had a choice of either doing them on the same channel or doing them on a separate channel, and then the logistics of juggling the two different channels seemed more of a problem than the problems of keeping them on one channel. So I decided to keep them on one channel because I want to do some other ones too in the future. As I hopefully I'll be able to have better internet signal and people can actually come on and talk to me if they want to. I'm a little nervous about that because occasionally you might get someone trying to pull some nonsense like they did on Squatch Talk one night. I don't know exactly what that person tried to put on the screen, but they said that it was something that could have got the channel shut down. I don't know exactly how to prevent that other than making sure it's people I know, or even maybe having them sign a contract. I'm no stranger to contractual relationships. So that might be the way to do it. Michael Hayward's in the house. Welcome. Loretta, Brandy. One channel with a proper title was fine. You got some OCD. I may, Brandy, I may have a little bit. B. Lynn says, be back in chat as soon as possible, watching and listening on big screen. Uh-oh. I didn't know it was going to be on the big screen. Mopar is going to eat. Polly, I think, stepped out for a second. He seems to show up, at the beginning of a show. He does it on other shows too. I've kind of noticed, and then he'll be gone for a while, and then he'll come back and pop in every so often. Tom Paul Cajun's here. Welcome. Mr. Lee says, right, it's not a race, Lockbeard. Well, I wasn't suggesting it was a race. But man, I want to get where I have an internet signal that isn't failing me as much as this one does. And hopefully I do. I talked with one of the owners of a business that I may be going to work for. And so I may be making, the most money I've ever made in my life. If it sounds like I may be in good shape, that I may be going to work for that company. And if I do, then, I may actually get a place, where I can more easily, handle stuff and get some solid internet and all that good stuff. I kind of have an aversion to living in any kind of structure. I've gotten very used to being a mobile human and the benefits of that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Icon said, not here to cause trouble, just learn, communicate, and be a wise ass. Oh yeah. Well, one thing about me is I get it. I'm a little bit much for some people in their chat. I've been banned from a number of channels. I'm all about free speech. If you say stuff over there I don't like, whatever. I may not necessarily bring someone on screen to spout a bunch of crap. I think that's probably where the line should legitimately be. But what you say in chat, whatever. You cuss me, I don't care. I'll just not read your comments if you keep just saying bad stuff. I don't have to read them. And technically I don't have to leave them in chat, but I hope to be able to go forward and not have to ban anybody. Now, if someone comes in here flooding the chat, like I've seen in a couple of the paranormal community live streams, somebody's come in and they kept switching to different accounts and dropping N bombs and just repeating the same comment over and over again, and just obvious troll. Okay, that's different, but they're hindering your ability to have a civil conversation. And so, it's like someone running into the room and just blowing an air horn. That I think there's where the line is. So, but people can criticize me if they want, and believe you me, I'm sure there's going to be some people that want to criticize me, especially after some of the shit tonight. But I don't care. I don't care. Let's see. B-Land says, Lockbeard, reach out and ask for advice and help from other channels. Yeah, there's been some showing support. Something to Sasquatch is about. Some of us were just over there at his show today. He's possibly going to have to fight a hurricane here pretty quick and might not have his upcoming show. So hopefully it doesn't knock out his power and he can go forward. Those of y'all who haven't been on Something to Sasquatch About's channel yet, he's been, he busted out of the gate with his guest. He's just been getting really good guests, and I mean, he come out running. He didn't come out trickling like me and a lot of these other channels, just kind of crawling out the gate. He's been doing really good with that channel, I think, and y'all ought to check it out. It's unfortunate. We were talking about the other night, Sean, your Monday night show, I think it was, is at the same time as the Beast TV guys, and that might be part of why. Like I was expecting to see more people in your chat, and I think it's because they're on at the same time. Just observation. But I think that as people find out about your show, because yours is a different type of show. There's kind of a no bullshit into things, and it's leaning more into that faction that of logical and evidence based, and so I think you will pull some away. Yeah. Brandy says just upgrade the Imperial van. I don't know. I kind of like it. I might do some. I might fix it up some. Might put solar power on top. I was thinking about that last year, but I decided not to. But it'd be nice to have solar power. Tom Paul Cage says you're living in a van. Yeah. I became a minimalist years ago, and because I was in a 3-bedroom house, and I was looking around. I was like, why am I paying for all this? I got rent, and I got to heat and cool this damn thing, and all this bullshit. So, and then there was the 2001 party attack. I think I talked about that on one of the random lives before, somewhere. It was right after that September event. It was a Halloween party, and it was just like, I was like, this is just ridiculous. If I don't have a house, my roommates won't have a party, right? Which I was part of it, but we had one guy caused all kinds of shit. But yeah, then I got a small lake cabin after that, and then I got a travel trailer so I could be mobile, and then I got, went down to just a, vehicle, because I kind of incognito, like I can park at Walmart and no one's really going to even know that this is a home. I can up and leave at a moment's notice. I got everything I need. I've reduced all my stuff down to, I don't have a lot of junk anymore like I used to. The George Carlin comedy skit called Stuff kind of explains it. Randy, you read my mind. Let's see here. I need to get caught up in the chat. Oh, I'd be going in the wrong direction if I did that. If I don't know. I kind of want to get like a big military truck and retrofit it into a nice RV kind of thing. But you kind of need to have some. You need to have some money to maintain that kind of situation. Let's see. Mike says, "Oh crap! I better leave." No. Icon says, "Shoot, got rain coming. Need to walk the dog. I'll have to stream on your phone. Just can't type and hang on the dog." Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. I have a double podcast for Wednesday, so hopefully, yeah. I was lurking at Sean. Watch your shows. I appreciate everyone who has come to watch and participate. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Sean. Sit a little less good. Right, hands on deck. Preparation for hurricane. Lots to do. Yeah. Better get ready for that. Yeah. Yeah, you'd probably need the bus. There was a YouTube channel. I used to watch some of their videos because they were just this cool couple. They had dreadlocks and they lived in a modified bus and they had their kid on board and, they lived like that. Brandy going to need a kick. Bigfoot community Cold War. Yeah, Mr. Lee. I was calling it a civil war, but nobody's, no shots have been fired yet. So I decided it's better to call it a Cold War. Sending UPS BlackBerry. Secure, but never know. Storms are brutal. Brenda Hawkins, welcome. Thanks for coming by. Let's see here. So I think I caught up in chat. So I don't know if y'all, if you've noticed, that there seems to be people are talking more and more about all the BS going on. Attention being given to hoaxers and whatnot, and it's I think it's been increasing, so I've talked about conflict and war before. How I feel that humans will never be able to be at total peace. It's part of our makeup to be in conflict. That's why I say good. We need the conflict to work through issues. And then once we work through those issues, we'll have other issues to work through and we'll find another reason to have conflict. It's part of what we are, and, we should just, embrace it, I think. Try not to be total pricks. That's why you had Geneva Convention and whatnot. But yeah, we need the battle. We can't be afraid to say anything. And because if you don't, it just keeps on happening. And I'm sure some of the ones that pop up on screen here in a second will be mad. But too bad. I think I have more reason to be offended. You guys, some of you have been just lying to me. And everyone here in chat. Yeah, it depends on how one handles the conflict. Anchored in shallow cove, only north wind can hurt. We got little lizards, my sailing chum. Yeah. Yeah. In chat on one of the channels, you know, I was kind of joking about the situation. And I don't know how that paused. Maybe this will start running now. You know, because sometimes I deal with difficult stuff by joking about it. You know, and so I didn't mean, you know, I didn't really mean to hurt anyone's feelings, but I don't think it did. So yeah, I think, you know, the lines are being drawn. People are being excluded from one channel and gathering on another channel and so forth. If you guys watched some of these other channels this week, they talked about some of that stuff. This is one of the more ridiculous storytellers, Matthew Johnson, who has been given a platform to tell his story in some places. And I think he's a total liar, and he's feeding people's ideas on Sasquatch, you know, that have no basis in any facts or evidence at all. You know, portal jumping, turning into trees and stuff like that. You know, just a crazy story, and I think he's just doing it to sell those books. And I don't begrudge people selling books, but you know, if you're pushing it as if it's a fact, instead of saying, look, you know, this is just my hypothesis, or this is just for, like they were talking about earlier, that, or last night, that it was for entertainment only. This guy was brought up on one of the channels. Perhaps some of you recognize him. Yeah, it was the one I was kind of joking about a little bit, but talking to someone in chat that maybe I'll bring on the show to tell her or their side of things in that situation. But you know, there's a certain channel that has no problem having his videos on, but deletes like everything from other people for nothing. And of course, there's these guys. You got Wes Germer there, who is pretty much known to be a hoaxer. LA Swamp Ape, in that video that he claimed was the greatest thing ever. And of course, there to support him was Daniela. Then you got this guy. What do you guys think? Is he the master of pareidolia? The head peddler in charge? Bryce, people, if you record testimony, I'll send you my books for free. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, what else got that dickhead Mr. Lee says. Yeah. And what about this guy? You guys know this guy, don't you? If he would just, I don't know, if he was just better about saying, look, these are just people's claims, you know, because he doesn't offer anything really to prove squat. He just reads emails. And, you know, not very good. But, so I'm not, you know, going too hardcore on him, but there he is. So these other channels, a lot of them say that by letting people talk, by not attacking people or questioning them, it allows more people to come forward, and it helps them to be able to talk about it. But I don't know if it does. You know, you need to say, look, is there a possibility that you were mistaken? And they say that the story, they want to just tell stories. Now, stories are great. You know, listen to stories. But the stories don't prove squat. They just don't. So, what are you going to do? We need actual physical evidence. I mean, even video is kind of shaky at this point because stuff can be so easily faked. Blockbeard says, Paul says, diplomacy is always best route, but communication breakdowns, load the cannons ready for attack. Yeah. Tom Paul says, I think what Johnson is dealing with is not Bigfoot, in my opinion. Well, I'm not sure. The story was just so ridiculous, and he was just so stating, as if it was fact, like he knew that these were, entities from another planet, and somehow he was instrumental in helping get the last of them to Earth and operates the portal and stuff like that. Yeah, how to email. B says, Lockbeard, oh my gosh, call it all out. Well, so many people are kind of afraid to, and I just don't give a shit. It needs to be called out. Sugarcoat sheet after sweetness is gone. You still got sheep. Brenda says, seeing with your own eyes proves a lot. I'm not one to fake anything. Yeah, and I'm not saying that many of the stories aren't true. I'm just saying that when they claim that questioning experiencers prevents us from getting some people to actually talk about their experience, and that somehow is of any great benefit to us, I don't see it as a great benefit. It does. More stories is just more stories that we can't prove and don't give us any evidence. And so being worried about scaring off new people from telling stories just means that those channels don't have content. And that's what they're really worried about, I think. They want new people to tell more stories so that they have content. And I don't think more stories gets us anywhere further down the field. So if they want to do, if that's what their channel is and they want it to be that way, sure. But, they're criticizing other people for asking questions and banning people from their chat, and they're extremely heavy handed with it. Like the other night, last night on Squatch Talk, to hear that Jay Birch, he was part of starting that show called Bigfoot Cafe, and there was some kind of misunderstanding, and she deleted all of the Bigfoot Cafe shows from Hidden Exaggeration. I mean, whatever the name of it is. I'm calling it Hidden Exaggeration. But she deleted all the shows. What? I mean, the level of vindictiveness over nothing is just appalling. And I think it needs to be called out for Bullshit Odyssey. That's my name for it. To delete all the shows with Pat in it. Again, just vindictive, just bullshit. Needs to be called out. He's a scary individual, knows how to manipulate it on a terrifying level. Really? It's crazy. That guy, I don't know if he's nuts or if he's just, this is his business is bullshit. Oh, thank you, B. Lynn. Thank you. Mr. Lee says, I've stopped watching Steve Ishdahl. I cannot concentrate on the story because the way he narrates it sucks. Yeah, I used to watch him, but I don't anymore either. So, um, yeah. I'm not attacking everybody that tells a story. I'm just saying, I'm talking about the way these channels are acting about people asking questions of experiencers, treating them as if they're these horrible people for just, say, hey, is there any chance you could have been mistaken or someone could have hoaxed you or, something, you know. I'm not saying we call everyone a liar right out the gate. No, of course not, because I don't think everybody's a liar. I think some of these people are, though. I think Dr. Johnson is. Let's see. Mr. Lee says, community, y'all. Brandon says, my first Bigfoot sighting was at night, and I'm not sure I would have believed it either if we wouldn't have caught a picture of it and caught it walking into the woods on video. Yeah. I can't say for certain that I've seen it. I think I might have saw one when I was a kid, but I can't say for sure what I saw was a Bigfoot. It was alive. It was covered in hair. It was something I didn't understand I didn't recognize what it was. I knew it wasn't any of the normal animals that could have been, but I can't. I'm not prepared to declare it was a Bigfoot. I just can't. So with that limited experience, and going with, the footprint evidence is a big thing. Um, Meldrum, is pretty much the expert on the footprints, and kind of having to trust him as a scientist that he knows, he can determine if a print is fake or not, and so with him saying these are real prints, and I haven't seen any prints myself. Assuming he's not a bullshit artist himself, footprints prove the existence of something. Something had to leave the footprints. So I'm fairly certain that they are real and they're out there, and can't handle the fakery. Yeah, and see, the fakery's taken away from y'all. Y'all are trying to tell a story, and these fakers and these hoaxers are turning people off. You got Zasky obviously just trying to make money off pareidolia. I haven't looked at all his stuff, but what pictures I have seen from him, everything could just be pareidolia. There's nothing conclusive. And you got to pay to go to his site and see this stuff, and so if he's the trickster that I think he is, and he's over there on that expedition, who's to say that he unilaterally, without Carrie not knowing, nobody else there knowing, couldn't have arranged for somebody of his to get in a costume and fake something to give them something really good and to back up his story. And I'm not saying he did that. I'm just saying at this point, I don't think I would put it past him. And there may have been someone else there that may be capable of pulling such a hoax. Too many people knew they were there, and where they would be, and to trust that every single person there was legit, is hard. But especially with Zasky there. I'm sorry. I don't trust that guy at all. I'll try to speed through some chat here. Yeah, that's my name for it. I don't know what, Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it here on out, I think. Paranormal that's hidden in the woods. A Bismarck is worth gold to the sea dog. Sasquatch Wizard and Iron Dex, welcome. He says, sounds like a lot has been happening since I've been out of the mainstream. Yeah, here lately, there's been a lot of people calling out the bullshit that's going on out there. And they wouldn't be so upset, but when you got the complete deletion of shows off of channels because one person, a mistake, or maybe they asked too many questions. Like, you ask too many questions over on Hidden Exaggeration or Bullshit Odyssey, and you will be banned from chat. And if you got a show on it like Jay did, your show will be completely deleted. Go look at her channel. And now after that's been called out, she might try to put them back on and act like she didn't do it. But this is the kind of person she is. I think she's a total bullshit peddler, and vindictive as hell, and so whatever. Brandy says, can we talk about how the guests are handpicked based off who they want to embarrass and who they want to show support for? We sure can, if you want to. I mean, I'm certain you won't see any more Jay Birch over on Hidden Exaggeration ever again. Of course, he said he would never do anything else with her anyway. So that's good. My favorite Sasquatch joke, Blockbeard says. Mr. Lee says, I was singing I'm a Strange Animal all day again. Yeah. Good day, Sasquatch, Wizard, and Iron Dex. Sasquatch called Bigfoot, but yet he doesn't mind. Let's see. Tom Paul says, I have no evidence of what I experienced except my word. It does help to talk about it when I've tried and been called crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, that you're going to be probably the best person to know that at this point. I think it's totally possible he saw Sasquatch. Depending on the circumstances, what you actually observed depends on how much of a chance it was a mistaken identity, or pareidolia or some other animal or whatever. But if some people say that they have clearly seen the face and have been able to describe the face as human, and so that story, if true, if the person isn't a liar, certainly takes us out of the realm of mistaken identity with an animal. But so yeah, but I don't know. Brenda says, I've caught some amazing footprints since I've been hunting them. Cool. I think that sometimes you have to take a leap of faith, says Hobbs. Well, Hobbs, I've immersed myself in science my whole life, so I kind of need proof of stuff. If my bullshit meter was better and I could tell for sure someone was telling the truth and trusted in that, maybe it'd be different. But until then, I can't just believe everybody, or anybody. I want to see actual evidence, and preferably a body. And I want the world to be forced to acknowledge that they're out there, and that we do not have a right to occupy every corner of the globe, because there are other peoples out there that have a right to have a space to live too. Since we can't get people to recognize like dolphins as people, very intelligent species, that it's very possible that we're just too stupid to figure out how to communicate with, but because they're different from us, humans just don't seem to have the capacity to as a whole to accept an intelligent species on this planet that doesn't have technology for whatever reason, by choice or just inability due to the lack of opposable thumbs or whatever. We don't seem to have the ability yet to recognize that an intelligent species that doesn't have a humanoid form. Intelligent species don't have to be shaped like a human. They don't have to have hands. You can see it and hear it in their eyes and voice. Fakers lack this in their story. What if they're really good at faking, though? I mean, some people can beat a lie detector test. Tom Paul says, I don't know what I seen. I know when I tried to approach it, it was driven out of the woods. Brandy says, I don't think videos should be deleted. That's suspicious. Yeah, I thought you were at Squatch Talk. But yeah, Jay said all of the Bigfoot Cafe shows were deleted from her channel. And all the shows that had Pat Turner in it were deleted from Bullshit Odyssey as well. Well, I've considered that. What if there is? What if some of these channels are meant to, or whoever the puppet is, they create channels to try and absorb Bigfoot believers and to control the narrative? Is there government involved? I don't know. All I know is there's some bullshit going on over on those channels. Brenda says, got to get back to work. Just want to pop in and show some love. Everyone have an amazing rest of the day. You too, Brenda. Choosing guests to embarrass them, that's just wrong. You think somebody, who's doing that? Brandy says, well, an example, normally an interview will go 45 minutes, then they allow questions the last 15. I've seen with people they want to embarrass, they give 20 to 30 minutes, if that, then talk about their own stuff, not giving the guests the full time or even showing their interests. Yeah. You'd think they'd kind of stick to the same format for every guest. Something to squash about. Oh, okay, that's messed up. Guests deserve the host to be prepared, professional, and willing to engage. Seeing it with multiple interviews was pretty upsetting. Yeah, I recall seeing some that were like that over there. Andardeck says, Blackbeard, I can say that when I first started watching BFO, they were welcoming, but I think because I never became a member, they stopped acknowledging my existence. Yeah. Well, let's go look at their chats. Very full of wrenches and dollar signs, and few people in just in white in the chat. So they're full business mode. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, you have been banished from your clan. You are a rogue Sasquatch. How would you spend your day? I was banned from my clan? Oh, man. What would a rogue Sasquatch do if he's banned from a clan? He probably wants to find a new clan. Well, probably steal some females from some clan somewhere and make off with them. Make my own clan. Find a nice dumpster to eat out of and, be a good provider. Chad Bunger's here. There are definitely people paid to put out false information. Your government does not love you. I agree. A lot of times, like if you see, it doesn't matter what it is, anything. Like the Triple K Club, right? Whoever the guy is screaming the most hate is a government agent most of the time. He's trying to get him stirred up and to make him do something bad so that he can bust him and get some kind of commendation or something like that, or just to start shit in society. I don't know, but for sure, but most of them are just pretty cool, calm, and collected, and aren't causing that much shit. But when you see these people and they get on camera and they're just spouting this most, it's so horrendously hateful crap that it's just comical. Probably your government agent trying to create shit. You have a suspicion who did that to Pat? Yeah, I'd certainly like to know. If we could find proof of it. And what exactly did they post? I don't know exactly what did they try to put on the screen, because I didn't see. And I haven't seen where anybody said what it was. Gene, welcome. Thanks for the support. So I guess the question is I'm sure somebody lurking or whatever is going to run over to Hidden Exaggeration or Bullshit Odyssey and tell them what the crap I've said. I'm sure they did the same to the other channels where there were some things said, calling them out. So, wonder what the outcome of that is. I welcome it. Like I said, conflict is good. Let us do battle. Something to Squatch. You mean that live Squatch talk that ended early? Yeah. Some guest he brought on tried to put something on the screen that would have got the channel shut down. So, I don't know what all that encompasses. I have some ideas, but I don't know exactly what they were trying to put on there. What about him, Mr. Lee? He kind of a bad dude. Like I said, I told a slightly distasteful joke in regards to that. But like I said, you gotta laugh bad shit off sometimes. Look, I don't know how much I want to say. My father had addiction issues and would become violent sometimes. When I was a kid, mainly directed at my mother. strangulation strikes home, and that's what DDoS did. And anyway, to this day, I don't even like to be around couples arguing. I try to hide it, Like some years back, I had some friends who they actually met through me and ended up getting married. And I lived with them for a while, and they would argue sometimes. And she figured out, she's like a social worker. She figured out that it bothered me. So she ended up coming and talking to me and saying, look, everything's fine. We're okay, because he never became violent with her, but they would argue. And she figured out that it was bothering me. I didn't think I was letting it be known, but I don't like that stuff. And, so yeah, DDoS needs to stay in jail where he's at. Sean says someone flashed their penis. I don't know, maybe. If it was Bigfoot, Joe and Molly someone needs to tell Joe and Molly, because that's been a key question they've been trying to answer over on their channel. Well, mainly Molly. Just what does Bigfoot pack? Brandy says, I have something I think should be looked into. I wonder what. Uh-oh, Mr. Lee says. Or at least Pat should be aware. Yeah, definitely let Pat know if there's anything that he needs to know. Because, obviously we're dealing with people that are going to fight dirty. They're going to pull some that's some bullshit. Trying to get a channel, trying to put something on a channel like that to get them knocked out, that's just bullshit right there. And it just shows you what kind of people we're dealing with. And these are the kind of people that those channels we've been talking about, I think they're associating with. They took all of Pat's shows off. They took all of Jay Birch's show off. But if you go over in Bigfoot Odyssey, Bullshit Odyssey, right now, all the DDoS shows are still on there. How in the fuck are his shows still on there, but Pat's and Jay's aren't? I mean, seriously. That's insane. Carrie, Daniela, you showed us what you stand with, what you stand for. You're keeping DDoS's show or interviews on there, but taking those guys off. You showed us what you're about. Hiveless, welcome. What's up, motherfucker? We're into the F-bomb dropping section, I think. Let them fly. Actually, I don't care. I put not for kids on here because kids are going to watch anyway. That's the funny thing about Bullshit Odyssey. Kids are going to watch your show either way, it doesn't matter. They see everything. They learn all the cuss words on the kindergarten school bus. They learn all the dirtiest jokes on the kindergarten school bus. I remember I was one of those kids. You're not accomplishing anything by filtering the cuss words in your chat. You're just not. I think it's just used as a mechanism to take out people they want to take out. There might be more warnings given to this person, but less warnings given to somebody that's asking too many questions. There's kind of a division in the Bigfoot community, whatever the hell that is, between people that want to ask questions, ask the hard questions, try to get to the truth of things, expose liars and hoaxers, and then those who just want content for their channels. They don't care if the person's lying. They try to claim they're They're helping people to come forward because they don't want to be ridiculed. We're not ridiculing them. We're asking hard questions, though. If your story cannot withstand hard questions, then it must not be very solid. And the reality is, protecting stories doesn't advance us any closer to proving anything. So the stories, why are we protecting the story so hard? Because that's what those channels operate off of. So that's kind of what we're talking about. Bigfoot and on up in here. Welcome to the show, man. There he is. Gene says, I didn't know their shows were taken down. I don't agree with Pat or his crew on a lot of things, but they have a right to have their opinion. And I don't go there to watch. I don't got to go there to watch. No. But, Pat was bringing this up. If they sabotage their own channels, I mean, by taking down those videos, people, like those guests. They like Jay Birch and Pat. A lot of people do. And, when you're taking episodes down of your show just because you don't like the person, I think Pat asked too many questions, and Jay, it was just more of a misunderstanding that he didn't get a chance to defend himself on. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Mr. Lee says, if I had kids, I make them watch. Well, I've always kind of half jokingly, but I'm kind of half serious, is that a parent would probably be better off teaching their kid how to use vulgarity properly, because this is what's going to happen. Your kid's going to get on the school bus with no exposure to it. Other kids are going to cuss at him. Your kid's going to try to cuss back, but they're going to mess it up and they're going to do it wrong. It's going to be like that Star Trek movie. Oh, a double dumbass on you. They didn't know how to cuss right. And then the kid is going to get made fun of for screwing up, proper vulgarity, if that's a thing. And then that's going to cause the kids some levels of social repercussions, psychological distress, not nothing necessarily major, but it could be. What if the kid's a little fragile and is not prepared to handle the level of ridicule they're going to get? Tell the kid, say, look, you do not have permission to do this, but if you're going to say these words, you need to use them properly in a goddamn sentence. And they're all going to eventually. Most of them. Lockbeard says, Gene H, apples are my thing. Love Honey Chris. We've got awesome stuff. Couple weeks. There'll be some, I don't understand what that means. Tidy. We are weeks away from apple season here. Good day, sir. Gene, that's right. And really that's what everyone should do. Don't like someone, don't watch. Yeah. Yeah. But trying to take down someone's channel, geez. But that's my attitude towards the chat. If I don't like what you're saying, I see your name, I may stop reading your comments. Out loud or not, As there gets to be more people in here, it gets really hard to read all the comments. So sorry, skipping, but I just can't. There's too many. But if someone just wants to come in here and talk shit, I'll just let them run. They'll reap the repercussions of what they say. They'll socially, and they're not hurting me. Because what they say don't matter. I don't give a shit, but let her rip. It's going to be a busy sweater weather is right around the corner. Chad Bunger says, didn't Pat and his gang attack LA Swamp Ape on their show, or do I have incorrect information? They questioned LA Swamp Ape. I had him in the presentation towards the beginning of the show. because I think he's full of shit. And he had, surprise, surprise, Daniela sitting next to him. And I'd already made a little bit of rumblings about her in the past, and I just wasn't surprised to see her there with him. That's part of that, you know, we're divided, and I don't know, you know, the line's kind of fuzzy, but, you know, there's some people kind of riding the fence a little bit. That's fine if you want to do that, but, you know, at some point, they may have to choose a side, but she's on that side, and I'm way the fuck over here. And LA Swamp Ape, because he had that video, it was a thermal, and he was talking about how there was, I guess there were some secret Men in Black types or whatever involved or whatnot. It was thermal, and he's like saying it was some of the best footage there ever, and you know. Anyway, he hasn't posted a video since that. That was like months ago. But yeah, they questioned. I don't know if you'd call it a full-on attack necessarily. I don't think anyone said that they think he's full of shit like I will. I think he's full of shit. That video was not the best video. That wasn't great video. It was thermal. You know, you could fake that. You know, it's just he's trying to act like it was this great evidence that he had, and it wasn't. And then he brings with him to help him present it, you know, the queen of hidden exaggeration. So, Gene Hudson says, Paul, I can't wait to make jam jellies, apple butter. I love caramel apple jelly. Y'all are going to make people hungry. Like corn, tender sweet corn. And that is all, Gene says, and that is all over the shows. They all share their opinions, and you don't got to agree. They have to have a right to do a right to it. Yeah. Brandy says, Chad, Pat called bullshit on the thermal pics, but it was a respectful, open invite to have Carl on to talk about it. And he also said he went about it the wrong way. There was no malice. Yeah. Yeah, they keep things pretty cool, calm, and collected over there. They're asking honest questions, some questions that need to be asked, and, you know, challenging things that look like they're probably bullshit, and that kind of look like bullshit. Bigfoot analysis of Cheesy Pond, Wild Man, everyone. Please research it. One was captured in the 1800s, erased the skeptics. Yeah, a lot of people have seen that stuff. It's just how, you know, how can we truly verify it, you know? Nikola Tesla is inventing the world, but for erased PT, I'm Sasquatch world is Nikola Tesla of inventing world, but for erased from history. Gene Hudson said, yes, that's what happened. They attacked LA Swamp Ape. Let's see. Gene Hudson, Paul just watched the YouTube channel. Corn cup syrup tastes like maple syrup. Brandy says they did. Did I miss something pertaining to LA Swamp Ape and Pat? Well, that was months ago. That had to do with that thermal. Well, they did bring up LA Swamp Ape last night, but they didn't really linger on it, I don't think. I think the tall ones brought him up. Pat is in Sasquatch world to Nikola Tesla to the invention world. They were both erased from history. Erased, you mean? Yeah. Nikola Tesla, people. When it comes to the sciences, if you take anything away from me, take Einstein and chuck him in the trash and look really hard at Nikola Tesla. Brandy says, I saw one show where Pat was inviting Carl on. Yep. That one show where Pat said he should have contacted Carl first before doing the live. I don't know if he feels like he should have. I don't think he has to do that, but if he had, he might have had a chance to get him on if he really wants him on. Yeah, Lockbeard at protonmail.com. That the emails, I think it's on my YouTube About tab, and it's also on top of the Paranormal TV Guide. Speaking of which, I haven't updated it in a while because I haven't really found anything to add. So if you guys know any shows that are, paranormal, high strangeness, Bigfoot, UFOs, anything like that, it needs to be a live stream, preferably interacts with chat, not premieres, because they, live stream where they could, the chat can actually talk to the guests and stuff. Regular schedule, because pointless to list it on a TV guide if it doesn't have a time to list. But I'll add it if it fits. If it fits with what I've been made that for, and you guys can look at it anytime you want if you get the link. Yeah, it was LA Swamp Babe. Lockbeard, I don't agree with half the crap you have to say, but I respect you for your honesty. That's why I like this channel, and you help me look at things a different way. I hope so. Yeah, everybody can't agree on everything. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think they're conclusive. I think you could fake it, because, you could fake actual video with someone in a suit, I think, at this point. We have the ability to make suits now, costumes, that could fake a video, and someone look at it and think, oh, that thing looks pretty damn real. That's why I'm not really thinking video at this point. I'm thinking physical evidence, actual body parts, something. Loretta says, I'm really lucky I'm a newbie to the Bigfoot community. I found Gary Hoot Hollow last year during shutdown. Through him, Joe and Molly, Mike LIB, you, whomever you guys suggest. Mr. Lee says, Blockbeard, what? Lollipops. Gene says, me too, Tom Paul. Lockbeard makes you think outside the box. Really, they all do, and I just pick my puzzle pieces. Yeah, try to pick the right ones. That's the hard part. B says, do you have an email we can contact? I already mentioned that. I might try and put it in chat here in a second. Let me see if I can. Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'll put it in chat. With my extra email, it's not where I do most of my business through, but I check it every so often. Chad Bunger says, I too was really disappointed with his thermal pictures, and then he never followed up. I found that curious. Yeah, I think maybe the fallout, people didn't just eat it up. Some people did, I guess, but not everybody did. You know, because I can't remember his exact words, but he's kind of saying that it was just. He said something like, I challenge you to find better footage or something like that. And I'm like, are you serious? Tom Paul says, yes, Gene, however, you can't beat the live chat we were on earlier. Tom Paul, I agree. People thought I didn't like Lockbeard too until you see someone to read body language, black, white text. He has nothing to read, no emotion, no facial expression, no detect sarcasm. Yeah, that can be a problem with text and chat and all that stuff. Big Rob's been lurking. Thanks, man. I'm trying to tell it like it is. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, you seen the electric boogaloo blue viper snake do what? I have no idea what you're talking some other language now. Gene says, oh, Tom Paul, no way you can't beat those two. They just throw so much down in a little bit of time. Was great today. Who are you talking about? Big Rob, bananas, and tangerines. So yeah, didn't those thermals get edited by the government because the technology was not allowed to be seen or released? Remember? That is what LA Swamp Ape claims. We don't know that. That's what he claims. You know, so I don't know. Oh, was he? Well, that may be why he hasn't posted then. Hey, Squatching Cowboy says, howdy y'all, can't stay, just thought I'd drop in. Thanks for dropping in. How bad? I still haven't wrapped my simple mind around it. Huh? Which party talking about? No way you can beat the. Oh, so y'all watched something earlier. What were you watching? Trying to keep up with you guys. Carl's okay, but I do believe that's why he hasn't been active. Bigfoot and says, I think some of the questions got in the way of the encounter and info yesterday. She is a wise Native American. Let her speak. Gene says, Brandon, I didn't see that about Carl and accident. Hope it wasn't too bad. Lockbeard says, Paul says, Tesla got railroaded. They stole from him and made him disappear. The government has some of his patents and stays today. Yeah. There's a lot of shit people need to know. I'm gonna get a little bit political on you for a second. But it has to do with Tesla. We had a president up until last January, or last year, January last year. Anyway, a lot of people were like, one of their pros they said so often is, oh, he's an outsider. He's, you know, they thought it was just big deal. He was an outsider. I'm going to call bullshit on that. I don't think he's an outsider at all. I don't mean to be taking sides at all. I'm just saying, none of them are outsiders. They don't let anyone get in there that isn't supposed to. I think that possibly the American people were given what they were to take as a kind of a savior, right? Just like the one before him. You know, every so often you got to give the people a savior, so they think, oh, we won this great victory, and this guy's going to do such great things. And in reality, he's working for them. Yeah, always was. the there's various things, you know, that kind of indicate, you know, like, you know, Trump's father, you know, was involved with, you know, Triple K Club and stuff like that. But that's not the Tesla thing. Tesla thing is that one of the people involved with confiscating Tesla's stuff was Donald's uncle. You know, so he's a high level, top security, you know, their family is involved, okay? They're not outsiders. Tom Paul says, but it is productive to have a channel that presents no evidence criticizing other channels that have no evidence. Is it? I think it may be, you know. Challenging people to stop, you know, going down every rabbit hole with no evidence at all, and help. They're helping people support whatever delusion they have, you know, whatever belief they have, instead of challenging all of them and saying, "Look, we don't really know anything." And you know, I would love to have some evidence, but you know, it's hard to get for a reason. Evidently, I mean, it's got to be. There's, you know, it'd be speculating as to what the reason is. You know, possibly Sasquatch is way more intelligent than people are giving them credit for. Just too damn good at staying out of reach of us. And if you got the government trying to hide the issue as well, well, you got a perfect storm, something you're just not going to find with any great ease. So, but that's why we need to drive home that point that we need actual evidence. Stories aren't getting us anywhere. We're just sitting here telling stories. That's fine if the channel doesn't want to tell stories. It's just, you know, they're attacking people for asking questions. Gene says, hi, Cowboy, you're gearing up for the research trip. Money ruins everything. Yeah. Watch 30 to 20 times. Yes, that's what he said. They were edited to protect the equipment and people. Yeah, that's what he says, but it's, you know, how we know that he's not lying. Brandy says, Tom Paul, to be fair, he doesn't claim to be a researcher or have boots on the ground. Yeah. It would take a lot of money. Like, I'm not going to waste time. You know, when I go in the woods, I'm not trying to look for Bigfoot or anything like that. I'm just doing whatever the hell I'm doing, you know. You know, mushrooming or fishing or panning gold, or, you know. I have no illusions that I'm going to find Bigfoot just by looking for it. You know, if I was to do that, I'd kind of need like some serious budget, because it's going to require some serious equipment, I think, and a time investment that's just, you know, I'm not wasting the time for something that I think is going to be totally fruitless. I think it's better, you know, to try and spur people who do have the time and the money to go do it. Surely someone can pull it off if they get their mind in the right place and they have the resources and the ability. Gene says, all this infighting in the Sasquatch researching world is why we never progress, not even with the Patterson film. Yeah. It's funny, you know, these channels that I've been talking about, they'll kind of preach that, but they're causing a lot of issues. You know, they're acting like their shit don't stink. You know, when you're deleting an entire show from your channel, or every episode that has a certain person in it, you know, acting like you're on some moral high ground when you got a a heinous criminal like DDoS, all of his shows are still on Bullshit Odyssey. And you wonder why people are having issues with your channel. And they've banned so many people. You know, they're creating a tidal wave of ill will. It's, you know, they've done this. They didn't have to do any of that shit, but they did. And then they will try to act like that we're the ones causing the division. No, you pissed everybody off, Carrie and Daniela. I'm sorry. Y'all did it. Mr. Lee, do we need to prove Sasquatch exists? I don't know if we need to. I mean, I want to see proof that it exists, but I mean, otherwise, why even talk about it? You know, that's the goal. That's the thing I'm interested in. I want to see one. I want to see evidence of one. Otherwise, you know, if that goal is complete, if we're not interested in doing that, then, you know, why is there even talk about it? You know. Gene says, I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I'm not sure about you. Randy says, I trust everyone until I have reason not to. I would never tell someone they're lying or faking without proof. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely need proof. Yeah, Chad likes the mystery. I am falling way behind on Chad, I tell you what. Big Rob's in working. Randy says she's no researcher, but let's see what kind of shenanigans I can get into. Hiva says, damn, I thought it was a community for people with big foreheads. Dark said, I gotta go check on something. Okay, show Lockbeard. If I don't come back, good night to all, and to all a good night. Thank you, man. See you later. In the AC cab, that's good. Yeah, I think it's the same thing you said a while ago. Need is probably a strong word. I want. Too many root beers. Lockbeard, I have one eye open. Brandy has a big forehead. Gene says, Lockbeard, we were on not another Bible study with Jason and one of his. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, them guys banned me too for being too aggressive about questioning someone on their channel who I thought was full of shit. See you later, Paul. Sean said, could have been a lost human who had been raised by animals in a sense. Too long lost in the woods and swamps. Some people who have come back from that situation never acclimate to living as human. You talking about what Bigfoot Anon was talking about earlier? Yeah, that old story. Yeah, there could be a lot of information. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what actually happened. So it could have just been a lost person. Iveless thinks he's Jesus, I guess. Trump won. Well, dude, I'm trying not to get too political on this show. We all saw the evidence of cheating. Bigfoot Non, Joe was the savior for the idiots. Yeah. I dislike Democrats and Republicans equally. Trump and Clinton are cousins. Tesla was friends with birds. And so am I. Yeah. Hiveless says Bigfoot on. Yeah, Joe was the sniffy pedo savior. Oh gosh. Yep. We done unleashed it now. Yeah, he has it. His family had access to it from the very beginning. Of course, if you tell people that, it's oh, his uncle was part of the operation that confiscated Tesla's stuff, they're not going to understand how profound that information is. He's not an outsider, folks. Icon says that would have been John G. Trump. Hello, Lockbeard in chat. I made it back from the walk of life. Yeah, Icon comes. I know him from over at Ken Wheeler's live stream. Ken deals with a lot of Tesla stuff, a lot of science stuff on that end. What's Ken say about Einstein? He calls him like a fuzzy hair. Well, he says he quotes Tesla calling him a fuzzy hair crackpot, and he says he doesn't have nice things to say about Einstein, and they are deserved. There's multiple books about how Einstein stole all his shit, and it wasn't even good shit that he stole. And these horrible things that he said, and I don't know if Ken's ever mentioned that Einstein married I guess his wife was both his first cousin and his second cousin. I don't know how much that matters, but it matters to some extent, I think. Bigfoot Non says, Tom Paul, some of them guys are too busy complaining to actually go outside and hike. Real easy to hide behind screen and deny everything. Yeah. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, how can I find Sasquatch? I don't know. We have some ideas, some things to try maybe, but you're going to have to, I think you're going to have to go into it with the idea in your head that these are humans. They know exactly what a camera and a gun are. When you walk into the woods, they know you've been there. You know, you're not, just because you look around and you don't see anything don't mean shit. They can probably track better than the best trackers. They probably smell better than you, hear better than you, see better than you. If you're going to trick them, you're going to have to go through some great extents, and you know, this ain't like trying to film a gorilla. So I don't know how you overcome that necessarily, but I think recognizing their intelligence is a good start. Tom Paul says, yeah, ask questions, and the critical thinkers don't like it too much. The critical thinkers didn't like it very much, or I mean, now, I mean, if they respond, I mean, they'll respond. They have no problem with people asking questions, and they have no problem with responding with what they really think, you know. And you won't get banned, you know, unless you're being like a complete prick about it or something. But you ask questions over on those channels I've been talked about, you know, you're good chance of getting banned. Chad Bunger to the one-armed man is string cheese, just cheese. I would say no. I don't know. Tom Paul, ask questions and bring it. And then where are you off to next on your research journey? You go out just about every day. Didn't see anything. Hiveless is going. You got to bring up Freemasonry. See, Hiveless comes from over on Ken Wheeler's channel too, and a lot of times people bring up Freemasonry in his chat because for some reason people think he's a Freemason. I don't know why. He's not. He made fun of them on a few occasions. Like, he thinks they're just some goofy club. I don't know what I mean, people say a lot of things about Freemasons. Like, 3 of my 4 grandparents were Freemasons, and I see no evidence of anything but a club. I'm sorry. I know everybody thinks there's some big conspiracy, but I haven't seen it. My best buddy, his grandfather, or his father and grandfather, they were Freemasons, and he decided to go ahead and join up here a few years back, and he's a really good guy. He has helped me out greatly in the past. I don't see this conspiracy. So people making this claim, they need to bring some evidence. Maybe they're right. Maybe there's some upper level guys that actually know what's going on, and all these guys don't know anything. But I don't see any evidence for it. People claim all day long this stuff, but they never have actual evidence, just claims. So, Troy, do you have a link to your TV guide? That's a freaking awesome idea. Yeah, I'll post it in chat. Hold on just a second. Yeah, just bookmark that, and just hit it. It'll come up and it'll ask you a name. You don't have to give your own name. It doesn't matter. It just wants a name. Give the name, click join, and a little drop down will come down on the upper right side. Says collaboration or something. Well, it isn't a collaboration, so just click on the document somewhere, and that drop down will go away, and then you can scroll through and look. There's like 80 plus shows. As you will see, Bigfoot, Bullshit Odyssey, there is show. Well, the one show that I know of that's a regularly scheduled show, it's on there. So I want to be fair. No one's going to be able to accuse me of not fairly listing everyone that's out there on there that belongs on the TV guide for what it needs to have. I'll put them on there. I don't give a shit. But I also say what I think about them. So, but yeah, there's the link. I mean, you can download it if you want to, but you don't want to do that because whenever I update it, it updates instantly. So if you just click the link, you get the updated version. If you download it, you're not going to get the updated version unless you just re-downloaded it. You see what I mean? So I share it freely there, but I originally made it for myself. But then people were asking about it, so I started sharing it, and I started adding all these shows that I wasn't really keeping on there because I don't watch them, right? And like I like Bigfoot Odyssey at some point was on there when I was watching them, but then they, got on my bad side, and I took them off because I wasn't watching them anymore. But then I put them back on, because I'm sharing it with everybody, and I want to be fair. So, so there it is. Gene says, I've been there too, where I've upset the channel boats. Yeah. Yeah, you can question all you want here, Now, if I fire back, don't get upset, because I might fire back. But I won't ban you unless you're, crossing, certain, serious lines. Bigfoot now says, haha, Lee hit up Torreya State Park last night at night. Might not see one, but you will hear it. He does. He will drop it. Thanks, Brandy. Bobby's here. Welcome. You missed the worst part. I got extra room for you, Lee. Keep to their neck. Catch up. I'm trying, Lee. Oh, I had a teacher in high school that would sing that song every time I came in. He'd sing that, or he would sing, I don't know what the song, he would sing these lyrics, Earl, 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 don't you marry Pearl, whatever that's from. Hiveless, if Bigfoot was a Buddhist, he wouldn't believe in himself either. Yeah, that's my real name. I also go by Achaeos as well. That book about Barron Trump as well too. Yeah, I don't even have time to be worrying about Barron Trump. Uh, Tesla Brothers, yeah, big fan of Tesla. What I skip? Did I miss something? I hope I didn't miss anything good. I'm scrolling back a little bit here, see. So what? This one? I thought I hit it. And that one too. Bigfoot was a Buddhist. Yeah. Tom Paul says this is a channel I want to go on and share my experience. Oh, you want to share it on here? You can if you want to. One of these days, I gotta get good internet before I can do stuff like that, and then figure out, how high security I want to be about things. It's just I don't want to deal with somebody coming on here trying to post some shit to get the channel shut down. I don't need to be dealing with that shit. So I don't know if there should be a contract like you sign, and you're not I will not do this shit, and then if you do, there can be, I don't know if, and that would be hard. That would be a logistical nightmare. So yeah, Tom, by far, definitely by far he was. Mr. Lee says District 9 aliens are forced to live in pathetic conditions on Earth. Yeah, that was an interesting movie. So I don't think I skipped something he said. Unless Hiveless, I mean, maybe YouTube kept it off of there, because I thought I saw everything you said. YouTube, sometimes it'll show your comment on there to you, but no one else sees it. And like I've had in some chats where if everything was in caps, it would block it out. YouTube would do that for some reason. Or if there was too many emojis, certain words sometimes trigger the YouTube bot. So it might be something like that. Like there's been times when I was trying to say Homo sapiens, and for some reason YouTube didn't like me using the genus name of humans or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I could figure, and I had to change it to not say it that way. So I don't know what I missed. Icon says if I was a Bigfoot, I wouldn't want to be found by dumb humans either. Yeah, it could end up being a bad day for Sasquatch, because everything we find we end up killing at least some of them, if not all of them. Icon, that's my point. Right, says Brandy. Gene says some native tribes believe pictures stole their souls, and so people learn to ask. Many people should start trying to ask if they can take Sasquatch pic. Yeah, who knows? It might be something. I've seen people suggest that before. Drake, welcome. No, he's not. No, he's not. But some people come into his live stream all the time asking. They ask him if he's a Mason. They ask him about drugs and alcohol. And if you've been watching his channel from the beginning, like he's got thousands of videos. So you can tell people that haven't followed his channel very long, that don't know, that you just don't ask about alcohol, drugs, Freemasonry, flat Earth. He's not a flat earther. Electric universe. He's not an electric universe person. The stuff he teaches, it doesn't prove flat Earth. It doesn't prove electric universe. He's not a Freemason. I mean, why do they think he's a Freemason? I don't get it. And if he was, why would he answer yes if you are clearly someone that is suspicious of Freemasons? B-Land says, Lockbeard, I hope you can have guests on and panels too soon. Yeah, it'd be cool. I'm just nervous about it, you know. I don't want to deal with, bullshit of someone trying to get the channel taken down, and I don't know. Mr. Lee says, shake my hand, ain't a weird way. That's all, folks. Huh? Troy says, I'm a Freemason. There's no conspiracy. There you go. We confirmed it. In LOCKBEARD Phenomena chat, it is confirmed. I mean, I've even thought about looking into it myself. I mean, my family was, 3 out of 4 grandparents were Freemasons, so, and it seems to have been helpful for my buddy as well, developing those relationships and business contacts and, stuff like that. I think Q is the criminal-minded FBI. Tracy, welcome. And I don't know. Oh, you mean the QAnon? Yeah, that stunk to high heaven as like a government operations. That smelled like CIA or some shit. I don't know. But people were eating it up, man. Oh my God, they were eating it up. They're so hungry for shit like that. My grandfather was also Freemason, says Loretta. Gene says, I think you can find shifty people in every organization. Doesn't mean they're all bad. That's true. How do you join? Oh, you asked about Freemasonry. Well, Freemasons are not supposed to actively recruit. You're supposed to kind of come to them on your own. There's some favoritism, but no conspiracy, Troy says. Well, thank you, Mr. Lee. See, my buddy said he wasn't supposed to ask me to come join or whatever. I would have to approach him, and then he would have to, I don't know what they call it, mentor me or something, or sponsor me, I think they call it. Sounds like a lot of work, though. I don't know. You got to memorize all this shit. He tells me that they have that there is secrets and stuff, but it's no big deal. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I think I know enough shit that we're not supposed to know that I might know more than the Freemasons know. B says, Lockbeard, I would actually like to be on your show in the future. I have no doubt guests would all have an interesting, exciting, and memorable discussion. Yeah. Hopefully I could start doing that in the future. It sounds like, I've had several people asking about that. So, I'm definitely looking to try and figure that out. I just, I'm operating off bad internet at this point, but hopefully I can get that fixed in the very near future. You know, it just takes money, you know. Shit. um, Tracy says, I think about all these arrests have allegedly happened. If Trump was still president, all this bullshit would not have happened. I don't know. Releasing Advanced Space Station, Matt Damon, yeah, that was an interesting movie. It wasn't the greatest movie, but it was, you know, it was kind of a cool watch. B says, I'm popping in and out of chat, but have been watching it all on the big screen. Good chat. Thanks, B. Shirley said, I said that on the other day. Been saying that wrong the whole time. How far am I behind? Jesus. How long did people think bears were a myth? I don't know. Forward thinking methods. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, I don't know. The Pearl song was from Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest Beverly Hillbilly watcher. I did see some of it when I was young. Tracy says, notice Fox turns off comments that pertain to this shipstration. Huh. Oh, Mr. Lee asking about Ken Wheeler. Ken Wheeler is Mr. Lee. Ken Wheeler's not Bigfoot community at all, but he's the only person I found on the planet who is actually trying to teach people pretty prolifically on his YouTube channel and with his books about how the universe really functions. You know, you've heard me talk shit on quantum physics, and I've seen these issues with quantum physics. There's problems with it, big problems, but your average person doesn't. They don't know. They hear this bullshit, and they hear, these guys, these scientists, they're supposed to be the smartest guys around talking about it, and they just have to accept it because they really don't know anything about the subject. And anyway, so I don't know, by chance I came across Ken Wheeler's channel. I was like, finally somebody, and I thought for sure Ken would get banned off YouTube because most people are not going to understand how profound the information is that Ken reveals on his channel. They just aren't. But it's big. It's very big. But he's trying to teach people how the universe actually functions. You can't listen to quantum physics because there's some issues, some big issues. But his channel is called Theoria Apophysis. If you want to dive in the middle of that shit, go ahead. He's got thousands of videos. You got to sift through the photography. I don't give a shit about the photography, so you got to sift through that. He's got videos on leather work because he's into leather work too, and I don't really care about that. So, but there's some shit, and look into the Buddhism stuff. He there's some interesting stuff there too. Yeah, he gets accused of being an Illuminati. They're supposed to be secret, so why would anyone say they belong? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Troy says Gene Hudson, the activities are a secret, not the membership in them, hence the Masonic ring. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't want to waste time memorizing a bunch of useless shit. From what I've seen, a lot of it's useless shit. You want to be my first guest? I think you'd be a really good one. Gene says, "Oh, Troy, thanks for clearing that up. I only know what was in the movie National Treasures because I can't change it. Why worry about it?" Yeah, that's probably a good point. Harvilla says, "Chat, this guy's Ken, Theoria Hypothesis." Yeah, his name's Ken Wheeler. Theoria Hypothesis is his channel. If you got time and you want to engage the brain power to go down, I think the most important rabbit hole there is. But this is not a bad one. You know, a lot of times you go down them and you're like, okay, this is bullshit. Once you understand some of the stuff he's trying to show you, it'll start to piece things together, and you'll get why these yahoos in the mainstream can't seem to achieve grand unification. They're like, and they can't seem to. There's a reason. It's because they got, it's like a puzzle. We talked about puzzle pieces before, and tonight even someone said, mentioned puzzles. These guys have created puzzle pieces that won't fit together because some of it's wrong. Some of the pieces are wrong, and so you'll never get grand unification if they keep on staying on the same track that they're on. Ken tears that all apart and shows how it really works. He needs someone to translate for him though, because shit just starts coming out, and you're like, "What the fuck did this guy just say?" And that's just you're gonna have to decipher it, because you're totally relearning your world and using vocabulary you probably never used before. And, yes, first, Sean, go for it. Maybe we should have a contest. We'll have a Klingon style death match or something. I need proof of that, Tom. Well, it's in the chat, I guess. Actually, someone else asked first. Y'all guys, tonight's not the first time I've been asked that question. Mr. Lee says, yes, something to squash about. Do it. Brandy says, I love you and don't be scared. Brandy, I love you and don't be scared. What? You way behind, Earl. Yeah, I know. Oh shit, nobody tell him where I live. Tracy says, I liked All in the Family. Show's not politically correct nowadays. Archie. Sean and Tom, okay, you guys be first on Lockbeard Show. I'll be the first female guest. Oh no, this is getting out of control. Brandy, be on Lockbeard Show with me. Brandy says, sounds like a plan B. Lockbeard can have his chat pick his guest. I don't even want to try and figure all this out. Y'all, I've been asked before about that, though. I ended up finding Ken looking for Lynn's reviews back in his angry photographer days. Yeah, Ken is the angry photographer. I would definitely watch that show, chat says. This chat is on fire, Hyvla says. My girlfriend's a Buddhist. Oh, really? I don't know if she should watch Ken's show. He might piss her off because he challenges some of the Buddhist beliefs. He's also a language prodigy and has translated some ancient texts and stuff, and has uncovered that some of the things that a lot of Buddhists believe is incorrect. Buddhist is a peaceful religion. Icon says, I'll be a guest on your show. You can make it an hour-long comedy special. It'll take me that long to think of something funny. Oh shit, man. I would need to meditate for some self-control. If I go on the show, Lockbeard brings out my I don't give a fuck side. I am all about the I don't give a fuck side of just everything. Yeah, I know you'll hop on. Bigfoot has been hopping on everywhere. Chet Bunger, that's a good thing though. Yeah. I'm catching up to you guys. Tracy Benna, Eastern beats Abrahamic any day. It would be another fun show. Yep. So hopefully I didn't take things too far. I'm not sure I believe there's a too far. I know that some people are just, they're nervous about saying too much about some of this shit, and I'm like, well, my don't give a fuck. My give a fuck's at an all-time low. So, and any last comments? I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down. I want to try and not run over 2 hours. Because one, I'm, get tired. But also, now last week I told you guys that, Central Florida Bigfoot was coming on, but I guess I didn't realize he wasn't going to have his show last Saturday. So hopefully he's on tonight. He comes on at 8 o'clock Central Time, which he's in Florida, so that's 9 o'clock for him. I guess that's 3 a.m. for you, Mr. 3PO, and so I kind of like his show. I feel like he's leaning towards the more logical side of things in the Bigfoot community, so I like watching this show. So if you go over there, fly that pirate flag. Tell them you're raiding from Lockbeard's channel, and I'll see you guys there. Icon says, Ken just released a great PDF on the later life murder of the first Buddha. Great reading. Brandy says, I'm not nervous about speaking what I know, just don't care for the drama that will follow. Bring what you feel comfortable bringing. I'll take it all. I don't give a shit. They can't, it's just words on the screen, Bigfoot and on, definitely. Not everyone. Thanks for the chat. It was interesting. Thanks, Lockbeard. Thank you, Gene. Oh, thanks, Chad. That's high praise. High praise. Good night, all. Awesome, Lockbeard. Good night. Good night, night. Horror Talk every Tuesday, Thursday. Last few guests, LIB, Stacey Brown, Donnie Miller. There's no way in hell I'm going on 168. If I do anything, I'll do it alone. I've always gone into the wilderness alone and unarmed, and I prefer it that way. Randy, be ready for, and I don't want nobody to know I'm there. I don't take a cell phone a lot of the time unless I think I'm really going to be in some dangerous territory and I might need communications. Be ready for gnats biting you at the ankles. Okay, well, thank you all for showing up, and I'm gonna do the outro and chat with y'all for a minute or two more, and I'll see you over at Central Florida Bigfoot. Have a good night. just